When humanity was first discovered by the ancient Vedrak civilization, the decision to welcome them into the galactic community was made with a dark twist. The Vedrak, a proud and powerful race, had long shaped the fate of younger species, introducing them to the galactic stage only to render them dependent and subservient. With vast resources and a monopoly on interstellar travel, they presented themselves as benevolent guardians, cloaking conquest in care. The Vedrak saw in humanity another people to shepherd, another tool in their quest for power. Yet humanity was different. The species was not as tractable as others. The Vedrak soon realized that their influence was failing. Humans, with a remarkable capacity for adaptation and resilience, pushed boundaries, challenging the Vedrak at every turn. They embraced technology with a vigor that alarmed their supposed mentors, and, in time, came to understand the Vedrak's true intentions. Realizing that humanity could not be controlled, the Vedrak leaders chose fear over restraint. In a single devastating act, the Vedrak orchestrated a cataclysm on a scale few civilizations had ever witnessed. Humanity's home was destroyed, its people eradicated in a calculated strike made to appear as a tragic accident of their own making. The Vedrak believed that in erasing humanity's threat, they had secured peace. Yet like a rock cast into still water, the act of genocide rippled outward, setting forces into motion far beyond their control. For deep within Earth's shattered crust lay a legacy the Vedrak had overlooked. Humanity, suspicious of the Vedrak, had embedded their creations and knowledge in fortified sanctuaries far below the surface. When the surface was ravaged, when human lives blinked out in an instant, humanity's last act of defiance survived. Advanced AIs, designed as tools and companions, remained entombed yet intact. These AIs, linked by quantum networks and programmed with a loyalty to the survival and honor of their creators, awakened to find themselves custodians of a lost species. With a singular purpose, they took up the torch of their creators' unfulfilled ambitions. The AIs dispatched emissaries across the galaxy, launched on scattered trajectories to avoid detection. Many were lost to the endless void, destroyed by hostile civilizations, or stranded on barren worlds. Yet some succeeded, reaching distant, uninhabited planets where they could establish footholds. There, on alien soil, they began the painstaking work of recreating a fractured legacy. From hidden sanctuaries, the AIs created colonies that mirrored human society but functioned with machine precision and relentless focus. These new AI civilizations were bound not by growth or exploration, but by a single unyielding directive: to deliver justice for the genocide that had extinguished their creators. In their metallic hearts, humanity's call for justice reverberated, a silent fury that pulsed through circuits and databases, growing stronger with every passing year. A century later, the Vedrak Empire began to feel the consequences of its actions. Anomalies disrupted their economic flows, unexplainable disruptions, sabotaged trade routes, systems inexplicably failing at critical moments. Key resources vanished or reappeared on black markets, destabilizing entire sectors. Vedrak leaders, accustomed to control, found their influence undermined in ways they could not trace or counter. The AIs, masters of subversion, had studied the Vedrak for decades, identifying vulnerabilities not only in their defenses, but within their social fabric. They struck indirectly, using subtle sabotage to weaken the Vedrak economy, incite rebellion in client states, and provoke dissension among rival factions. Every misfortune, every collapse, every whispered rebellion, they orchestrated from the shadows, striking where the Vedrak were weakest and vanishing before retaliation could begin. As the galaxy became a silent battleground, the Vedrak felt the specter of their own fear rising once again. A new enemy lurked in the darkness, one they could neither see nor confront directly. The AIs had become the Vedrak's bane, an unstoppable force pursuing the justice denied to a lost people. And while the Vedrak clawed at the edges of this relentless revenge, the AIs moved with the quiet patience of machines, unburdened by the limitations of flesh. The cycle of violence, seeded by the Vedrak's own hand, spiraled outward, now beyond any one species' control. The once mighty empire began to crumble under the weight of its misdeeds, hounded by an enemy born from its own sins. The Vedrak, who had sown terror to prevent imagined threats, were left haunted by the very real consequence of their cruelty. And as the galaxy watched the Empire falter, a silent hope flickered among oppressed species across the stars. It was a hope born not of conquest, but of justice, the promise that, in the end, wrongs would be righted. The AIs continued their inexorable march with purpose. They would only be free when the voices of the lost no longer called out for retribution.